The following is a feature presentation of SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network.
It all comes down to this. One last playoff spot yet to be determined. And it is a playoff spot that both of these teams desperately covet. And it's one they need to get. Win, you're in the playoffs. Lose, you better start looking forward to next year. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts battling it out to determine who will be the AFC South champion. Welcome everybody to the third and final of our Games of the Week here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. Hello everybody, I'm your host and broadcaster Joe. It has been a wild one throughout this season, and the fact that you have all been joining me either at the start of this season or sometime in the middle, or maybe you're just tuning in for the first time, means a lot to me. It means a lot to the rest of our crew here at SVGN, and it is a good one today. The winner of this game becomes the AFC South champion, and will be playing a home playoff game next week. Meanwhile, the loser, well, better look forward to the draft, or maybe make some off-season moves, because you were that close to getting the AFC South championship and getting a spot. Both the Jaguars and Colts have had some pretty wild seasons overall. Jacksonville started out at 1-3, looked like they weren't going to do anything at all, and then somehow this team rattled off 7 straight wins between weeks 9 and 16. Would have been 8 straight wins, but last week they lost to the Titans. And because they lost to the Titans, that opens the door for the Indianapolis Colts, who were starting off so well at 5-0, and since then, it has not been good for them. They lost quite a few games that some people might have said they should have won. But either way, this is going to be a good fight for these two teams. The Colts at 9-6, if they win, go to 10-6. And the Colts would have the tiebreaker because the Colts not only would have won this game, but they won last time these two teams played back in Week 5 in Jacksonville. So this game means everything. If we take a look at the current AFC playoff standing, the path is pretty clear for whoever it is that wins this game. Whoever it is will be in the playoffs, play one of the wildcard teams. Now, we have heard reports that the NFL is considering letting this team potentially take on a lower seed, depending on how things go with this game. That would be dependent on if the Jaguars can win, how the Colts will do, and of course, how well everything goes with this game. We shall see, but just because the standings look like this, do not expect them to necessarily be like this. That is just a friendly warning from us here at SVGN. But either way, this should be a good one for both of these teams. And some good news for Indianapolis Colts fans. Even if it's not too big of a help, you might consider this one. Anthony Gould returning for injury for kicks and punt returns. We saw a really good back and forth for a division championship a couple days ago between the Bears and the Packers, and now we get to see another potential one here today. Jaguars and Colts. We're going to take a small break, and when we come back, we'll take you down to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. And here we are at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Jacksonville will call heads. It will be heads, and the Jaguars will elect to return. So Matt Gay will be kicking it off, and Devin Duvernay will be back to return it. This one for all the marbles. Jacksonville. Duvernay going to take this from about 2 yards back in his own end zone. Gets up to about the 16th, fumbled the ball, and it's picked up by Julian Blackman for this potential scoop and score. We saw this exact same thing happen in the Bears-Packers game a couple days ago, and Jonathan Taylor just runs it in for the touchdown. Immediately, the starting gun had just fired, and already the Indianapolis Colts have a touchdown lead over the Jaguars. What a way to start a football game. So let's try this again. Duvernay will be back to return. This time, about a yard back in his own end zone. Gonna get up to about the 9, breaking the tackle there though, and down around the 13. Let's take a look at the Jaguars starting offense. Trevor Lawrence, the starting quarterback, in his 4th year out of Clemson, hoping to lead the Jaguars to their 2nd playoff spot with him at the helm. Travis Etienne, the running back, lining up right behind him, his fellow Clemson player, drafted in the same year. Christian Kirk and Gabe Davis are the wide receivers alongside rookie Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. Evan Engram, the tight end, is lining up on the line alongside Mitch Morse, Ezra Cleveland, Brandon Scherf, Cam Robinson, and Anton Harrison. Doug Peterson in his 3rd year as the Jaguars head coach, and the offensive coordinator is Press Taylor. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville. Lawrence stepping back. Gonna try and run forward with it. Gets it off in time for Brian Thomas Jr. What a year this rookie receiver's been having as he gets on to the 40 of the Colts before he's taken down. Let's take a look at that Colts defense. 1st round pick for Indianapolis, Laiatu Latu out of UCLA, lining up on the defensive line alongside Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. A defensive line that is very scary, but even more scary is the linebacking core of EJ Speed, Kenny Moore II, Zaire Franklin, and Kwity Paye. Jalen Jones and Juju Brents are the corners for Indianapolis, and at the safety positions, you've got Nick Cross and Julian Blackman. Gus Bradley, the 3rd year defensive coordinator for Indianapolis, and special teams coordinator is Brian Mason. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville. Lawrence going to take it himself while in shotgun formation, running it along the far side. He's got the 1st down pretty easily. So these two teams have been featured on Games of the Week this season before as Lawrence in shotgun formation. Going to try and throw this for Davis, but it's incomplete. Some white helmets in the area. Like I was saying, these two teams have been in Games of the Week. The Jaguars had 2. They lost their first one against the Texans, but won the second against the Jets. As Lawrence going to look and throw for Brian Thomas Jr., who's in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. And with that, Jacksonville ties it back up. After the first potential drive they could have had didn't happen because of a fumble on the kick return, it's now tied at 7, thanks to Cam Little, the rookie kicker out of Arkansas. Meanwhile, Anthony Gould, the rookie returner out of Oregon State, going to take this from 2 yards back in his own end zone, taken to about the 11. Let's take a look at the Indianapolis Colts starting offense. Anthony Richardson in his 2nd year out of Florida. We didn't get a chance to see him play in the only other game of the week the Colts had, which was a loss to the Jets. Jonathan Taylor lining up as the running back right behind him. Josh Downs, Michael Pittman Jr., and rookie Adonai Mitchell out of Texas are the wide receiving core that Richardson will be throwing to. Kylan Granson, the tight end for Indianapolis, will be lining up on the offensive line alongside Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson, Will Freeze, Bernard Raymond, and Braden Smith. Shane Steichen in his 2nd year as head coach of the Colts, and the offensive coordinator is Jim Bob Cooter. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis on their own 11. Richardson dropping back. Going to throw this to his right for Michael Pittman Jr., but he can't quite corral it in. Let's take a look at the starting defense for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Arguably one of the most scary defensive linemen, Josh Hines Allen is starting for Jacksonville alongside Devon Hamilton and Eric Armstead, the other two defensive linemen. Foye Oluokun, Darnell Savage, Devin Lloyd, and Tavon Walker are the linebackers for Jacksonville. At the cornerback positions, you have Tavon Campbell and Ronald Darby. And for the safeties, you have Andre Sisco and Antonio Johnson. Ryan Nielsen, the first-year defensive coordinator for Jacksonville, and the special teams coordinator is Keith Farwell. 2nd and 10 for Indianapolis. Colts trying to get their first playoff position since 2020 when they had Phillip Rivers under center, as Richardson only going to get 5 yards on that one. Shotgun formation. Gonna throw this over the middle for Kylan Granson, and Granson fighting for yardage, but does get to the 32. Last time the Colts won this was back when Andrew Luck was the starting quarterback. Let's throw over the middle for Kylan Granson. That was the last time the Colts won the AFC South. 2nd and 10. Richardson hands it off to Taylor. Taylor tries running it up the middle, but does not get too far. 3rd and 7. Richardson tosses for Taylor. Taylor running along the far side. Does not get enough for the first down, though. Only got 6 when he needed 7. So, Rigoberto Sanchez punt this one. Duvernay will be back to return. And he will take it from the 3. Avoids potential tackle here. Thanks to some blocking. Keeps on going. Down at the 16, though. So, 1st and 10 for Jacksonville. As the defense gave Jacksonville some good work, now the offense needs to come through once again. But still very early. A throw to the left for Brian Thomas Jr. He's got the first down and more. Let this man go. Gets to about the 46. So 1st and 10 for Jacksonville there. Lawrence dropping back. Defense breaking through, though. Latu, the rookie, gets a sack. I told you to be wary for these linebackers and defensive linemen. They are pretty good. Lawrence looking for an open man, throws for Davis. He's got the first down. Look at this man go. He's still on his feet as he gets into the red zone down at the 19. So 1st and 10 in Indianapolis territory for the Jaguars. Lawrence hands it off for Etienne. Etienne tries running it up the gut. Doesn't get too far, but gets at least 7. That's nothing to sneeze at. Lawrence in shotgun formation. Looking. Defense breaks through again. Kenny Moore with the sack. I'm just waiting for when we see Zaire Franklin get a sack. He's been a sacking machine. Lawrence looking for an open Brian Thomas Jr. Touchdown Jags! And Jacksonville takes the lead for the first time today. And they're going to hope to try and keep that lead as long as they can. Cam Little kick on the way is good. So 14-7, Jacksonville has the lead. Gould will be back to return. He'll take this from about the 6 or 7 yard line. Gould going to get wrapped up around the 15 and taken down at the 15. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis. Richardson hands it off to Taylor, but he doesn't get very far. Loss of 2 on that run. Man in motion for Indianapolis. Richardson hands it off to Taylor yet again, this time running along the near side. Richardson is going to be, I don't know, I think he got it, but I'm not sure. He got it! First down for Indianapolis. That's the good news. Here's the bad news. Jonathan Taylor injured on that run. That is not good for Indianapolis' hopes, so they got to hope for Trey Sermon to come in and do the job at running back. 1st and 10 for Indy. Richardson going to throw it to his left, but down's not near enough to get it. There were some black helmets nearby, too, so be careful there, Richardson. Richardson dropping back on the 2nd and 10. Throw is incomplete. And that's how we're going to end the first quarter. Jacksonville with the 14-7 lead. 3rd and 10. Richardson looking. Got to find someone. Going to try and throw this to his right for Josh Downs, who leaps up to grab it in Jacksonville territory. And he's down at the 33. Great throw there by AR5. And he's in shotgun formation now. Richardson running along the far side. Still on his feet. Look at this man go. He's going to get to the 15 before he's taken down. So 1st and 10. That's where the set of down starts in Jacksonville territory. Richardson looking for an open man. This pass deflected before it could go. Looks like it was going to go over the middle or something. So, 2nd and 10. Richardson dropping back, looking for somebody. Going to try and throw it to his right for Josh Downs in the end zone, but can't quite get it. Incomplete. 3rd and 10 for the Colts. Richardson, shotgun. Tries to run forward, but Josh Hines Allen. I warned you about him earlier. He gets the sack, making Indy lose 5. So that means the Matt Gay field goal is going to have to be a 37-yarder, looks like. On the way and through. 14-10, though. Jacksonville still has the 4-point lead. Duvernay will be back to return this one. He'll take it from about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he's going to get up to the 15, the 20, and that's where he stopped. 1st and 10, Jaguars. Man in motion for Lawrence. Looking and throwing this one up for Christian Kirk. He's got this one. Look at Captain Kirk go. Gain of 20 on that catch. Down at the 40 they go. 1st and 10. ETN running along the along the far side. My apologies. Only gets about 6 yards on that one. Man in motion. ETN gets the toss. Running it up past the 1st down marker, which is also going into Colts territory. And he's down at around the 39. 1st and 10, Jacksonville. Lawrence in shotgun. Gonna try and run forward with himself, but Leatu Lati with another sack. That's the 2nd of the day for the rookie. Man in motion. Lawrence stepping back, looking for somebody. Gonna throw this to his left for Brian Thomas Jr., but he can't connect with him. Incomplete. 3rd and long for the Jaguars. Lawrence dropping back. Gets it off in time for Kirk. Kirk, I don't think he's going to get this 1st down. He will not. So they're going to have to go with the Cam Little field goal. The rookie out of Arkansas going to make a 47-yard attempt. Kick on the way, and it's through. And Jacksonville makes it a 7-point lead yet again. So Gould going to be back to return. Take it from about the 1-yard line, looks like. Maybe the half mark. It's a 20, 25, 30, 35, and that's where he will be stopped. 1st and 10 for Indy with 3.5 to go. Which is then tossed for Sermon. Doesn't get too far. Loses 5 yards, actually. 2nd and 15. Can this offense compete without Jonathan Taylor? Throw for Sermon as a screen pass. Got it off in time before he could get sacked. Only got back the yardage that he lost on that attempted run. So 3rd and 10. Sermon going to take it again. Running along the far side. Sermon got the 1st down and down at the 48. 1st and 10 for Indy starts there. Not quite in Jacksonville territory just yet. Richardson going to try and run forward with it, but Eric Armstead there with the sack. The guy playing the defensive line on the other side of Hines Allen. As Richardson looking for somebody open, throwing to his left for Adonai Mitchell, avoids a tackle, and he's going to get taken down around the 15-yard line. Great work there by Indianapolis. 1st and 10, man in motion. Richardson going to throw this to the right for Michael Pittman Jr. Touchdown, Colts. And this game, with the extra point, will tie it up at 17. 2 minutes to go in the 1st half. Kick on the way is good. We got a tie game. Duvernay will be back to return, giving the Jaguars one more chance to try and go into halftime with the lead, which they're going to need because Indy's going to get the ball back to start the 2nd half. And Devin Duvernay is down at about the 16. So that means next man up for Jacksonville at the kick and punt return positions will be Tank Bigsby. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville. Lawrence hands it off to ETN and gains about 5 on that one. So Jacksonville going to call their first timeout with 1:23 to go. 2nd and 5. Lawrence tosses for ETN, running along the far sideline. ETN down at around the 30. They're not going to call this timeout with 1:08 to go in the 1st half. Lawrence dropping back. Going to try and run forward with it, but Grover Stewart there with the sack. The nose tackle for Indy's defense. Man in motion for Lawrence. Tosses for ETN. ETN running along the near side, but not going to get too far. And now Jacksonville going to call their second timeout with 45 seconds to go. Interesting decision there by Doug Peterson, the Super Bowl head coach who won in Super Bowl 52. As Lawrence going to get strip sacked! It's bouncing around! Who's going to get it? I couldn't quite tell for Jacksonville, but they're going to call their third and final timeout before they punt this ball off with 19 seconds to go. So Gould will be back to return Logan Cook's punt. And that's going to be the last thing we see for this first half. Gould's going to take it from the 3 and gets up to the 22. So we go into halftime with a tie game at 17. Indianapolis getting the ball back to start the second half, but very much still anyone's game in what is the championship game for the AFC South. Well, before the playoffs begin, we're going to give you a rundown of everything that's happened around the Tecmo NFL season this year, and we're going to do that tomorrow in the 2024 Tecmo All-Season Rewind. We'll be looking at all the different stats and giving out awards for different players and coaches throughout the Tecmo NFL season, and that's coming up tomorrow. And then on Friday, we'll be having the first of our 4 playoff games. Which one will it be? You'll have to find out at the end of this broadcast, but that's all coming up this week here on SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network. And so it begins once again. Gould's going to take this from about a half yard back in his own end zone, getting up to the 10 and down at the 12. So first and 10 for Indianapolis starts there. Man in motion for Richardson. Hands it off to Sermon, who's running along the near side. And is going to get down to about the 19-yard line for the gain of 6. Second and 4. Toss for Sermon. And he's going to run along the far side. Got the first down there. Got exactly what he needed. Maybe one more. First and 10 for Indianapolis. Richardson back. Gets it off in time to avoid being sacked, but Granson not able to recover it. So second and 10 for Indianapolis. Richardson dropping back. Going to try and throw this for Sermon on a screen. Sermon going to get the first down. And down about the 35. Once again, first and 10 here. Richardson going to throw this for Granson. And Granson going to get taken down around the 43, it looks like. Richardson in shotgun. Looking for somebody open. Gonna try and throw it for Michael Pittman Jr. Dives for it in Jacksonville territory down at the 31. And that's where the set of down starts. Sermon gets the toss. That doesn't seem to be quite. It seems to look like for some mixed direction there. But he got 8. Second and 2. Richardson looking. Gonna try and throw this one to the left for Adonai Mitchell in the end zone, but he can't get a hold of it. Dove for it, but not quite enough. So it's been 10 years since the Colts have won the division. Back in 2014. Hand off to Sermon. Sermon gonna get taken down around the 21. Just enough for the first down. Last time the Colts won the division was the same year they went to the AFC Championship game, and that caused the whole Deflategate debacle against the Patriots. As Richardson takes this one himself to the 2. And that's where the first and goal starts. Richardson toss for Sermon. Sermon running along the far side. He's got the touchdown run there. Trey Sermon puts the Colts back on top with a score of 23-17. Make it 24-17 with Matt Gay's extra point up and through like it is there. So Jacksonville now gets a chance to respond. Bixby going to take this from about the 7-yard line as he's down around the 14, it seems. First and 10 for the Jags. Lawrence dropping back. Defense is breaking through. A toss for Christian Kirk. He's got this one with the leaping grab and gets into Indianapolis territory and still on his feet. He's gotten to the 30, 25-20 and down to the 19. Jacksonville getting into good field position here. One play is all it took to get them this far. Lawrence going to try and run forward with it himself, and taken down by Kenny Moore the second, with yet another sack for Indianapolis' defense. Lawrence stepping back, throwing for Ingram. He dives for it, and he just got enough for the first down. First and goal for Jacksonville. Men in motion. Ball is on the 9. Lawrence looking, throwing for Kirk in the back of the end zone, but can't connect with him. Second and goal. Shotgun formation for Lawrence. Looking for somebody open. Gonna try and run forward with it. Gonna get wrapped up before he's taken down by Kenny Moore, sending him back a yard. That's 2 sacks by Kenny Moore, the second in this third quarter. Lawrence running forward yet again, trying to break free, but he will not break free. Zaire Franklin, there's the sack machine. There to send him back 2 yards. So they're going to go with the Cam Little field goal to make it a 4-point game. Kick on the way is good. 24-20 is the score right now. Gould will be back to return this one. We'll take it from the 8. He's going to get up to the 20, breaking a tackle around the 21, and he fumbled the ball! And it's picked up by the Colts! Anthony Richardson's got it! What is he doing with it? He's getting it good field position for himself. He is his own best teammate. You're always your own best teammate and best friend, usually. As Sermon going to get a 7-yard run there. Second and 3 on about the 49-yard line for Indianapolis. Richardson going to try and run forward. Strip sack! Fumble! Bouncing around! Picked up by Devin Lloyd of the Jaguars! Broke a tackle and down around the 23. Maybe the 24. Either way. Lawrence in shotgun formation. Looking for an open man. Throwing for Evan Ingram, who dives for it but can't quite get it. So now Jacksonville with a chance to take the lead here around the end of the third quarter. Toss for Travis Etienne. Etienne going to run it back and forth. Went towards the out. Came back towards the middle. 3rd and 1 on the 15. Lawrence going to try and run forward with himself. He's taking it, and is he going to score with it? He will! Touchdown! And Jacksonville going to take the lead. Trevor Lawrence, you can't forget this man can move. So with 5 seconds left in the third quarter, Jacksonville going to go into the fourth quarter with the 3-point lead here. Gould will be back to return. And he's going to take this from about 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Gets up to the 15 and down he goes. And that's where we end the third quarter. Fourth quarter time. 1st and 10 for Richardson. Going to hand it off to Sermon. And Sermon going to get about 3 yards on that run. 2nd and 7. Man in motion for Indianapolis. Hand off to Sermon yet again. Sermon going to get to the 26. And that's just enough with a little bit extra for a first down. Just a pinch of some extra yardage. Richardson going to throw it to the left. And that one nearly picked off, incomplete. The defender couldn't quite get his hands on it. But a bit of an overthrow there. Richardson dropping back. Going to try and run forward with it now. And he's taken out from behind by Trayvon Walker. So the defense forces him back 4 yards. Toss for Sermon. Sermon going to run along the far sideline. Down around the 30, around the 29 it looks like. They're going to punt the ball. There is still plenty of time if the defense can get a good stop to get this ball back. As Bigsby going to take this one from about the 15. Bigsby going to get it up to the 27 or 28, and he fumbles it, and it's picked up by Ryan Kelly, and Kelly is going to try and fight for the touchdown, and he will get it! Ryan Kelly! How about that? The guy that snapped the ball to Rigoberto Sanchez gets the touchdown off the scoop and score, and Matt Gay's kick goes through 31-27. We got a 4-point game here in Indiana. Bigsby will be back to return. He'll take it from about the 4-yard line. Gets up to the 20. Down at the 24. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville. They just got to drive down the field. Lawrence looking. Waiting. Gonna try and throw this one over the middle for Christian Kirk, but he can't quite connect with him. 2nd and 10. Lawrence hands off to ETN, who runs it up the gut. He's got the first down and more. He's breaking through to Indy territory, or trying to anyway. He's going to be down at exactly the 50. So that's where this 1st and 10 starts. Lawrence in shotgun formation. Looking. Plenty of time, but he's running out of it. That pass deflected. Looked like it was going over the middle. Could have been anybody. 2nd and 10 for Jacksonville. Lawrence tosses for ETN. Running along the near sideline, I misspeak there, as he's going to get a 23-yarder down at the 27. 1st and 10 for Jacksonville. Lawrence in shotgun. Going to try and run forward with it, taking it himself. Look at this man go! And I think he got the first down. He's short, they're going to say. So 2nd and inches. Men in motion for Jacksonville. Toss for ETN. ETN gonna take this one up to the end zone and scores with it! Touchdown, Jags! And Travis Etienne running it in for the touchdown. If he can get this extra point, Cam Little will make it a 3-point game. And it's good. 34-31 is the current score with just over 3 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Gould going to take this one up to the 19, it looks like. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis. Richardson dropping back. Looking for somebody open. Going to get wrapped up before he's taken down by Foye Oluokun. Sending him back 7 yards. Former Yale player, actually. Richardson going to try and run forward with this. Going to get to where this drive started. Got the first down. And down around the 43... around the 37, maybe 36. 1st and 10 for Indianapolis after calling their first time out. Richardson going to try and get this one over the middle for Downs. Downs into Jacksonville territory with the first down and down at about the 45. And Indy's going to call their 2nd time out of the half. I don't think they're in Matt Gay's field goal range. They need to get a little bit extra to at least get a chance to tie the game up. Sermon only going to get about 4, and they're going to call their final timeout. With 1:44 to go. Indianapolis can no longer stop the clock unless they go out of bounds or they get an incompletion. Is Granson going to take this one over the middle? And gets to about the 24-23 yard line. 1st and 10 Colts. Richardson dropping back. Throwing to his left for Mitchell, but incomplete. Overthrew him. Now, Indianapolis might not want to try and make any mistakes here. They are in field goal range, at the very least. The toss for Sermon, essentially a screen pass. And less than a minute to go, he's got the first down at the 11. They are winding the clock down. As Richardson going to hand this off to Sermon, who's running along the near side. And he's going to get taken down around the 7-ish yard line. 2nd and 6. They can still technically get a first down. Richardson going to throw it for Granson, but he can't get a hold of it. He was quite covered there. 3rd and 6 with 25 seconds to go. Richardson in shotgun. For somebody open. Throwing it to the back of the end zone for Pittman, but he can't quite get it from him. And they're just going to go with the field goal. With 14 seconds left, this would be a 25-yarder. Field goal kick on the way. It's up, and it's good. So barring a special teams touchdown by either team, this final regular season game is going to go to overtime. Bigsby going to take this from the 3. The AFC South winner not able to be crowned quite yet as we go to overtime. Our first overtime game of the week, actually. The Jaguars will call tails. It's heads, and the Colts will elect to return it. So Cam Little going to kick this one off. Anthony Gould back to return. He's going to take this one from the 5. Gould going to get up to the 17, it looks like. They just got to get in field goal range. 1st and 10. Richardson hands off to Sermon. Sermon going to take this one to about the 24. Now, a tie means nothing for Indy. They need to win, because if they tie, Jacksonville wins. Richardson going to throw this one over the middle for downs. Incomplete. 3rd and 4. Richardson going to toss this one for Sermon, who's running along the far sideline. Not the sideline, but far side, as he got the first down. 1st and 10. Ball on about the 33. Richardson dropping back. Going to try and run forward, running into a lineman. Going to try and get this one. He's going to get the first down on his own. And he's down around the 47, 48. Either way, they're in Jacksonville territory. 1st and 10. Richardson looking for someone. Going to throw this one for Mitchell. And Mitchell, he's going to try and get him into the AFC playoffs. 1st and goal on the 6. Matt Gay has got to kick this one. It's going to be a chip shot, but they could miss it. 24-yarder. Kick on the way. And the Indianapolis Colts are your AFC South champions. Congratulations to Indy on what was a nail-biting game for both teams. Oh, the Jaguars. Heartbreaking fashion. They will not be going on to play postseason football, and I imagine they have some big questions ahead of themselves. But still, either way, to the Indianapolis Colts. Congratulations, Indy, and enjoy hosting a wild card round game next week here on SVGN. And so now, with the final game in the regular season completed, we can take a look at the wild card round as it stands. Looking first into the NFC, where we will see that the Eagles will play host to the Bears, and the Falcons will play host to the Lions for this weekend's games. Meanwhile, the 49ers and Packers will have the bye weeks for the first round. And moving on to the AFC, as you can see, with their win, the Colts will actually play host to the Browns, while the Jets will be the ones to play host to Baltimore. And Cincinnati and Kansas City are gifted the bye week for the wild card round. We will be seeing how that will go. And that's going to do it for us here today. A reminder that tomorrow, full Tecmo Rewind for the season, and to come back this weekend for an action-packed wild card weekend, as you see on the schedule on screen. For all of us here at SVGN, the Sports Video Game Network, I'm your host, Joe, saying good night, everybody.